Coach, having spring with the guys and then them going through summer, I guess kind of where are you right now as a group bringing everybody back?
I'm excited where we're at. With coming in and getting day one from spring ball to day one to fall camp, I mean, we're light years ahead of where we were that day, and so got an unbelievable group of kids. I mean, the culture in that room and the character in that room and those kind of kids, I mean, they've worked incredibly hard. Coach Steiner through the offseason, putting in their own time in the PRPs and all the voluntary stuff they were able to do this summer. They really did a great job, and so I'm really proud of the effort they put in this summer on their own, and it's really showed the first 2 days. So we've made a lot of strides. Obviously, nowhere near where we need to get to, but I think we've got an opportunity to be all right, be pretty good.
What are those areas when you're talking about kind of making strides?
Obviously hatting things up the right way in the run game. We're getting better with our techniques that we're using now. But I'll say one thing that we got to get a lot better at in a hurry is pass protection. They know who they're blocking. All right, we just got to become better pass protectors. Give the quarterback more time. All right, it's one of those things that as good a skilled guys and good a quarterback we have, if we can let him sit back there for a while, we've got a chance to be pretty good.
What do you do to
just keep drilling it. It's one of those things. We work a lot of fundamental work. Very fortunate with the practice structure that we have. We get a lot of fundamental time. So just keep grinding those fundamentals, getting the reps, and just keep getting to work on it. And it's just a competitive thing. And the good thing is we get to work against a really good defensive line. Coach Vic and T.O. and those guys do an unbelievable job on defense. They're bringing things from all over the place. It's challenging. But we also got good players on that side of the ball too. So we got good players working against really good players. So like I said, we just got to continue to get the reps. And then, like I said, if we can go out there and master the fundamentals, we got a chance to be solid.
You get a lot of veterans back, but you're obviously coming in new. What's been that mix like?
It's been a good mix. All the kids for the most part saw some kind of time last year that are really in the mix right now. They've all played in a college game for the most part. You got good veteran leadership. You got some good young players that are really challenging for playing time. Like I said, going back to the culture of that room, it's one of those things on any given day, you better show up and play your best football because there's an open competition going on right now, and you got a lot of people in there competing and doing some good stuff. And so it's one of those things, consistency really comes into play, and I think those guys have really seen that, and they're doing a good job. Our practice habits, I feel like, has gotten better from what they were in the spring. Obviously, day 2 in camp, everybody's excited about playing football. As we get through the couple 5, 6, 7, we got to make sure that intensity level, and they're still having those good practice habits.
We talked to a lot of players during PRPs, and one of the things they bring up was the communication and simplifying. What kind of feedback were they giving to you prior to that simplification, so to speak, where you said, all right, this is what we need to do to improve the communication?
Yeah, I think we're trying to marry a little bit of what we're doing in the pass game and the run game, so it's a lot simpler for them. It's not a whole bunch, where it's your run game has its entire dictionary of calls and your pass plays has the entire dictionary of calls. We're trying to make it where it's pretty universal. Obviously, there's going to be some nuances and things where you have to make a call here and there. But once they kind of learn how, kind of the tools that they have at their disposal, all right, and they've kind of mastered off, like I said, those kids are really smart too. Very fortunate to coach a bunch of kids that are really intelligent. I mean, these guys are really sharp out there. So they're able to take coaching from the meetings and the PRPs and the walkthroughs and be able to come out here on the field and really do a good job of transitioning out there. And so, from what I feel talking to the guys, I just feel like we're able to kind of communicate a little quicker, all right, with less calls and try to play a little bit faster.
Coach, how are you feeling about that left tackle competition right now?
Yeah, I mean, we got a good one. We got, like I said, we don't really have, we got an open competition going on there, but we got 3 to 4 guys really competing for it. And it's one of those things, as we've done kind of through spring ball and the first 2 camps, and we got guys switching sides, moving positions here and there. And our goal is, by the time we hit that mock week, is really lock down a starting 5. All right, and so right now we got an open competition. But those guys are competing hard. Like I said, it's one of those things. Every single day, you got a guy like McKenzie who started 2 years here, and every single day he's got to come out and bring his best because he's got 2 freshmen right there, all right, that are playing right there with him, that are extremely talented, really good football players. And when they get their opportunity, there's no telling how good they could be as well.
Portland and Jonah both came into that 2020 class, and last off season was sort of what it was. What have you seen kind of specifically from them now that they've gotten this full year and in the program?
Coach Steiner and his crew did a great job with those kids. They've kind of added weight but dropped body fat. I feel like they've become, they worked a lot of fluidness throughout the summer. They've become better fluid athletes out there. But again, those are special kids, all right? And all like I said, I walked into a great situation with the kind of kids we have here. But those two kids individually, they're just incredible kids. They have unbelievable character. They come out here to do everything right every single day and everything we ask them to do in this program, and they've seen really good results. Obviously, they're really talented, so the results they're getting right now is pretty impressive.
I don't think anybody anticipates the freshmen contributing a lot this year, but of the new guys, who's really popping in right now?
It's hard to tell with those three. They haven't had many reps. What I have been proud of them all, again, working with those old guys through the summer workouts and the PRPs, they're pretty prepared to come out here and able to play football. We went out day one and were able to play football with those guys. That doesn't happen a lot of times. I've been in places where you throw the true freshman in, and it's a disaster out there. So I was proud of those kids. Again, they're sharp kids. They're really good, high character kids. And I don't think any one of those three stood out from the other two, But as a group, I've been really pleased with where they're at. And like I said, they got a little bit more reps today. And as from what I've seen the last 2 days, if they continue to do that throughout camp, they'll continue to get more reps. And you never know. The great thing about the new rule with the four-game redshirt rule, you might get into a situation where they develop by that end of the season where you might get a kid into the lineup or the rotation maybe or the top 10 with developing with that much time. So you never know. But those kids right now have done a really good job. I'm really proud where they're at.
What have been your impressions of Dedich working at guard? A guy who was a highly rated center coming there.
Yeah, he's kind of the hard hat. I'm trying to think of the right analogy for him, but the kid, right now might be our most valuable offensive lineman. He's able to line up. He could start center for us. He could start at both guards for us. He could play special teams for us. If we wanted to play an H-back role for him, he could do that. He's just a great football player. Extremely tough. Probably, coming out of spring was the most physical kid we had. Maybe had the highest gear motor that we had too as well. So he's right in the mix. The hard thing for him is we're not able to sit down. He's so versatile for us right now. We can't just put him and say you're going to be the right guard or you're going to be the left guard. Right now, he's taking reps, 2 practices at right, left, and center. So he's able to do so much for us. And like I said, he's incredibly valuable for us. And like I said, he's doing a great job.
One last question: the tight ends, how integral are they with working with you guys?
Done a great job. Like I said, we've got in here and same thing, Coach Day and I've got on the same page with how we're doing things. Simple calls for them. We're able to let them know what they do. Coach Davies done a really good job with their fundamentals, him and V. They're getting out there teaching these guys how to block. All right, and right now, same thing. It's been one of those deals. We're all on the same page, all right, working the right places, and all of a sudden you're starting to see things pop and open up by just hatting things up. And when we get the physical and the finish side of things, we can really do some good with those guys. And we have so many of them that are so many different types of tight ends. That, like I said, Coach Harrell, those guys are wizards with the play calls, him and Daggy and everybody. But hopefully we can kind of maybe even get to how the Patriots are that one time when they had Gronkowski and Hernandez, all those great tight ends where you never know what personnel group. It might be 12 personnel, but it looks like 10 personnel. It might be 10 personnel, but it looks like 13 personnel. You just never know when you got so many of those guys are so versatile. You can do so much more and still keep it simple within the offense.